It was the eve of the winter solstice on the planet Zorgon. The Zorgonians, an advanced alien race that had spread across the galaxy, always celebrated this momentous day. But this year was different. After centuries of exploring the cosmos, the Zorgonians had finally made contact with another intelligent species, humans from the planet Earth. The Intergalactic Council was abuzz with talk of this historic development. Grand Vizier Zorax, leader of the Zorgonian people, addressed the council. "My fellow Zorgonians," Zorax began, his voice booming through the grand chamber. "As you know, our exploratory fleet has at long last encountered an intelligent alien race, the humans of Earth. Initial reports indicate they are a relatively young species, having only recently achieved space flight. But they show great promise and potential." Murmurs rippled through the assembled council members. A new spacefaring race was always cause for great interest and speculation. Zorax continued. "In the spirit of galactic fellowship, I propose we initiate first contact with the humans in a manner that will demonstrate our peaceful intentions and goodwill. I suggest we study their culture to determine an appropriate way to introduce ourselves." The council quickly formed a committee to gather information on human society and traditions. Sociologists, xenoanthropologists, and data analysts pored over the wealth of data collected by the exploratory fleet's long-range scans and surveillance probes. After several rotations of intense study, the committee presented their findings to the council. One human custom in particular captured their interest: a winter holiday called Christmas where humans exchanged gifts as a sign of affection and celebration. This seemed like an ideal way to make a positive first impression with humanity. The council voted unanimously to make contact with Earth on their Christmas holiday and come bearing gifts that would delight the humans and showcase Zorgonian technology and artistry. Excitement built as the greatest minds on Zorgon began devising and creating gifts to present to Earth. Finally, with the Christmas payload loaded into a state-of-the-art diplomatic cruiser, Grand Vizier Zorax and an elite delegation of Zorgonian diplomats and scientists set off for Earth. The ship streaked through hyperspace toward the unsuspecting blue planet. As Earth grew large in the viewscreen, Zorax felt a mix of anticipation and trepidation. So much rested on this first contact going well. He hoped their gesture of goodwill would lead to a new era of interstellar cooperation and exchange between humans and Zorgonians. "Take us into high orbit," Zorax instructed the ship's pilot. "And open a hailing frequency to transmit our message to the humans' leadership. It's time to introduce ourselves." The blue and green orb of Earth hung peacefully below them, unaware that this Christmas would be one unlike any in human history. Grand Vizier Zorax stood on the bridge of the Zorgonian diplomatic cruiser as it slipped into orbit around Earth. The view screens showed the planet slowly rotating beneath them, a swirl of white clouds over blue oceans and green and brown land masses. "Open a channel to the United Nations headquarters in New York," Zorax said. "It's time to deliver our message." Moments later, a hailing frequency was established. Zorax stood tall, his ceremonial robes shimmering, as he prepared to greet the human race. "People of Earth," he began, his voice steady and soothing. "I am Grand Vizier Zorax of the Zorgonian Imperium. We come to you in peace and goodwill on this, your Christmas holiday. We have studied your customs and understand that this is a time of year when you exchange gifts as a token of friendship and celebration. In that spirit, we wish to initiate our relationship with a similar gesture." He paused, allowing his words to sink in. "We will be descending to the surface to deliver a selection of gifts representing the best of our culture and technology. We intend this as a demonstration of our desire for peaceful contact and cultural exchange with the human race. With your permission, we will land our ship in a neutral location and myself and a small delegation will meet with your appointed representatives to formally convey our gifts. We look forward to a new era of interstellar fellowship between our peoples." With that, Zorax ended the transmission and turned to his crew. "Take us down." As the ship descended through the atmosphere, the gathered media and crowds could only stare in awe. The Zorgonian craft was sleek and massive, glinting under the sun as it smoothly approached the designated landing site, a stretch of uninhabited parkland outside New York City. Across the globe, billions watched in stunned fascination as an alien ship touched down on Earth for the first time. Humanity collectively held its breath, anxiously awaiting what would happen next. A ramp lowered from the belly of the ship with a hydraulic hiss. Grand Vizier Zorax emerged, flanked by his delegation. A group of Earth dignitaries waited nervously several yards from the base of the ramp. For a long moment, the two parties simply stared at each other, all the formal plans for this momentous meeting suddenly forgotten. Finally, Secretary-General of the United Nations Anika Patel stepped forward. She had been hastily appointed to represent Earth in this historic encounter. Humanity's first words to an alien species would be hers. The weight of that responsibility felt crushing. "Welcome to Earth," she said, surprised at the steadiness of her own voice. "I am Secretary-General Anika Patel of the United Nations, representing all the peoples of our world. We are honored to receive you and your gifts in the spirit of peace and friendship." Zorax inclined his head in a gracious nod, a very human gesture that put Patel slightly more at ease. He stepped forward and extended a small device. "This contains a codex program that will allow seamless translation between our languages," Zorax explained. "If you would permit us to deploy it, it will greatly facilitate our exchange." Patel hesitated only a moment before nodding her assent. From the device, a cloud of shimmering nanites emerged and spread through the air, disappearing from view as they began their work. With the universal translator nanites deployed, communication between the humans and Zergonians became effortless. Grand Vizier Zorax stepped fully off the ship's ramp, his delegation following close behind. "Secretary-General Patel, as a sign of our goodwill, please allow me to present to you the first of our gifts," Zorax said. He gestured and two Zergonians brought forth an ornate, levitating platform upon which rested a shimmering, multifaceted orb. Pulsing softly with inner light, it was mesmerizing to behold. "This is the quantum resonance orb," Zorax explained. "It is a repository of the collected knowledge and cultural heritage of the Zergonian people. With it, you will have access to our history, our science, our art and philosophy. Consider it an encyclopedia of our civilization to help your people understand us as we begin our relationship." Patel couldn't help but gasp as she beheld the orb. Even without understanding its true significance, she could tell it was an item of immense importance and sophistication. I don't know what to say," she stammered. "This is an incredibly generous gift. We are humbled to accept it." "Thank you." Zorax smiled. "It is our pleasure. But this is only the beginning. We have many more gifts to share. Perhaps we could move to a more suitable location for the exchange." Patel nodded, finding her voice again. "Yes, of course. We have prepared a secure conference facility nearby. If you'll follow us." The human and Zergonian delegations boarded a fleet of vehicles for the short trip to the hastily prepared meeting site. The knowledge orb glided along with them, hovering serenely despite the movement. Inside the conference center, a sense of unreality settled over the human representatives. Less than 24 hours ago, the idea of sitting across a table from alien dignitaries exchanging Christmas gifts would have been absurd. Now it was happening. "Our next gift," Zorax said once they were all seated, "is a token of our advanced energy technology." A Zergonian aide stepped forward and presented to Patel what appeared to be a small, clear cube. Inside, a swirling vortex of colorful energy pulsed and danced. "This is a quantum vacuum energy cell," Zorax said. "A single one can provide clean, virtually limitless power for an entire city. It harnesses the zero-point energy woven into the fabric of spacetime itself. We would like to provide your world with this technology to help solve your energy needs and environmental challenges." Patel could only nod dumbly as she accepted the priceless cube, her mind reeling at the implications. The Zergonians were casually handing over technologies that could transform human civilization overnight. The gift-giving continued in a similar vein. Each one was a marvel of alien science and craftsmanship. A Genesis seed that could terraform barren worlds. A neural net archive containing the greatest artistic and philosophical works of a dozen starfaring cultures. A quantum entanglement communicator enabling instant communication across the light years. With each gift, the humans grew more and more overwhelmed. These were not mere trinkets, but paradigm-shifting treasures. It was becoming clear that the Zorgonians were not just advanced, but incomprehensibly so. The technology and knowledge they commanded dwarfed humanity's greatest achievements. As the final gift was presented, Patel raised a trembling hand. Grand Vizier Zorax, the generosity of the Zorgonian people it's beyond anything we could have imagined. I am almost at a loss for words. Zorax inclined his head graciously. Your words are more than enough, Secretary General. We do not give these gifts to put you in our debt, but as a gesture of sincere goodwill and friendship between our species. It is our hope that we can learn from each other as equals in the years to come. That is our deepest wish as well, Patel said. Though I fear we have little to offer in return for everything you have gifted us today. Humanity's achievements seem humble in comparison. Zorax leaned forward, his expression sincere. Secretary General, I assure you that humanity has much to offer. Your resilience, curiosity, compassion, these are qualities that even the most advanced civilizations can lose sight of. In our eyes, they are the greatest gifts of all. Grand Vizier Zorax's words hung in the air. Secretary General Patel and the other human representatives leaned in, curious what more the enigmatic alien leader had to say. In our studies of your world, we have seen much that impresses and inspires us, Zorax continued. Your resilience in the face of adversity, your boundless curiosity and drive to explore, your capacity for compassion and self-sacrifice. These are qualities that even the most advanced civilizations can lose sight of. He gestured to the array of alien gifts laid out on the table. What we have given you today is mere technology, tools and knowledge. But the intangible qualities your species embodies, those are the true gifts. They are what will ensure humanity takes its rightful place among the stars. Patel felt a swell of unexpected pride. To hear Earth's potential so highly praised by an emissary from the stars was deeply moving. Your words mean more than you can know, she said. We have always looked to the heavens and dreamed of what wonders and possibilities might await us there. To know that we are valued and respected by those who have already made that journey, it gives me great hope for the future. Zorax nodded, his expression warm. Hold on to that hope, for it will serve you well in the years to come. The path of a young starfaring civilization is never easy. There will be challenges and dangers. But there will also be wonders beyond imagining and friendships that span the galaxy. He stood, prompting the rest of the Zorgonian delegation to do the same. And know that, no matter what trials may come, humanity will not face them alone. Today, we are not just giving you gifts, but making a promise. A promise of friendship and support and solidarity between our peoples. A promise to stand with you as you take your first steps into the cosmic community. Patel and the human delegation rose as well, deeply moved. And we promise in return, Patel said, her voice thick with emotion, to be worthy of that friendship. To strive always to embody the qualities you see in us. To be a force for peace and progress and unity, not just on Earth but in the galaxy at large. The two leaders clasped hands, sealing the informal pact. The room filled with a sense that something profound and historic had just transpired, a joining of destinies that would reshape the future in ways no one could yet imagine. As the meeting concluded and the delegations prepared to part ways, Zorax had one final announcement. In honor of this momentous day and the new era it heralds, we have prepared one final gift. Not just for you, the leaders of Earth, but for all humanity. He produced a small holographic projector. When activated, it displayed a shimmering image of Earth, every detail rendered in stunning clarity. The planet was wreathed in pulsing lines of light that arced up from the surface and disappeared into space. "This is a real-time view of the interstellar tether we have just deployed," Zorax explained. "It is a network of advanced satellites and relay stations that ties Earth into the galactic communications and transportation grid. As of this moment, your world is no longer isolated, but connected to the rest of the civilized galaxy." Awed silence filled the room as the humans absorbed the magnitude of this final gift. Earth was suddenly, literally, part of a wider universe in a way it had never been before. "We will be in touch in the days to come to help you understand and utilize this new reality," Zorax said. "But for now, know that you are no longer alone. You have friends among the stars, and a bright future ahead of you." With that, the Zorgonians took their leave, returning to their ship. As it lifted off, disappearing into the sky, the human delegation could only stare after it, still half believing this was all a dream. But the weight of the alien gifts in their hands and the image of the interstellar tether still shimmering in the air proved it was all gloriously, unbelievably real. Earth had received the greatest Christmas present in history, a new dawn and a new destiny. And nothing would ever be the same again. In the days and weeks that followed the Zorgonians' arrival, Earth underwent a transformation unlike any in human history. The technologies and knowledge gifted by the aliens began to reshape every facet of society. The quantum vacuum energy cubes were quickly put into mass production, providing abundant, clean energy for all. Fossil fuels and other polluting power sources were phased out practically overnight, replaced by an endlessly renewable, zero-emission alternative. The scourges of energy poverty and climate change became a thing of the past. The advances in medicine and biology contained in the Zorgonian knowledge orb led to cures for diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia. Cancer, Alzheimer's, HIV, AIDS, and a host of other afflictions were eradicated as alien science combined with human ingenuity to unlock the secrets of health and longevity. The Genesis seeds allowed vast swathes of barren desert and depleted land to be restored to verdant fertility. Hunger and food insecurity dwindled as arable land expanded and agricultural yields soared. And the interstellar tether brought Earth into contact with a dizzying array of alien cultures and civilizations. Instantaneous communication and travel across the light years became a reality. Scientists and scholars reveled in an unprecedented exchange of ideas and perspectives with their extraterrestrial counterparts. Trade and tourism flourished as the wonders of the galaxy were opened up to humanity. But perhaps the most profound change was in the human spirit itself. The revelation that we were not alone in the universe, that we were part of a grand cosmic community, had a unifying effect on the fractured nations and peoples of Earth. Old divisions and animosities seemed petty in the face of this new reality. A global sense of shared destiny and purpose emerged. This transformation did not happen without challenges and disruptions. There were those who feared the changes, who clung to the old ways even as they crumbled around them. But they were increasingly drowned out by the chorus of voices embracing the new world the Zorgonians had ushered in. Decades later, a towering statue would stand in the place where Grand Vizier Zorax had first set foot on Earth. It depicted Zorax and Secretary-General Patel clasping hands, a symbol of the moment when two worlds and two destinies became one. The inscription at its base read, "On this spot, our world irrevocably changed. We learned that we were not alone. That the universe was more vast and filled with more wonders than we had ever dared dream. And that within us burned a light and a potential that could illuminate the stars themselves. In the face of the infinite, we found not fear, but friendship. Not insignificance, but inspiration. And in the end, we discovered not just a greater universe, but our own greater selves." It was a message that would resonate down through the generations as Earth took its place in the tapestry of the cosmos, always striving to live up to the promise and potential the Zorgonians had seen in them. Guided by the light of alien suns and the wisdom of new friends, humanity would reach heights undreamed of and shape the very fabric of space and time. And it had all begun with a Christmas visit unlike any other. The day the angels came not from the heavens of old myth and legend, but from the heavens of boundless space and infinite possibility. The day the greatest gift of all was given and received. The day Earth's future, humanity's future, was forever changed. A change that began with the wonder of first contact, and ended with the birth of a civilization that would be known in the annals and tales of 1,000 alien races on 1,000 alien worlds. This was the legend of how the Terrans rose, taught and guided by the Zorgonians. How the two races forged a bond as eternal as the stars from which they came. And how each, in their own way, saved the other, not from any external threat, but from the inner dangers of stagnation, isolation and loss of hope. It was a reminder that salvation comes in many forms. And that the greatest of all Christmas miracles is the simple, enduring miracle of an open mind, an open hand, and an open heart.